Hi everybody, it's Lyssa with songofmyheartstampers.com. Did you miss me? I have been out of the stamp room for the last couple weeks, um, getting my parents moved here to Watertown. We are so excited to have them, and they live only 3 minutes away from me now instead of 1,100 miles away. So I am thrilled that they're here in town, but I have to say it is good to be back in the stamp room with you guys today. So much has been going on the last 2 weeks. I've just been itching to get my fingers inky. The new catalog should be arriving in your mailboxes very shortly if it hasn't already, and my name will be on the back. And my shopping website, of course, is there. Very important. And I can't show you the inside yet because it hasn't started yet. So I left my mailed copy in the shrink wrap, so I wouldn't be tempted to show you guys because I so want to flip to the page with the new ink colors. And I can't. But I am allowed to show you if we have them in person in our hands. So here they are, brand new ink colors. I love color, don't you? This is polished pink, beautiful, bright, bold, in-your-face pink. Evening evergreen, can always use a gorgeous hunter green. This is my favorite, to no one's surprise. Soft succulent is this beautiful shade of green. Pale papaya is a gorgeous bright peach, true peach. And then look at this pretty shade. It's called Fresh Freesia, and it's named after the flower. Oh, I just spit on it. Fresh Freesia, and it is a gorgeous deep version of purple. I wanted to show it to you here next to Purple Cozy so you can see how different it is. It's got a lot of like a lilac pink in it. So pretty. Love purples of any shade, right? Purples of any kind. So these are all going to be available starting May 4th in cardstock, in ink pads, in Stampin' Blends markers, in ribbon, and in, of course, paper packs. Those colors will be used as well. And there's embellishments too, which I also can't show you because I used them up already. Wow. Yeah, I used them up and mailed them off. So those are our new colors. I'm very excited for the new combinations and to see how well these play with our existing color families. So lots of fun to be had. Well, today I'm going to be working with a beautiful set of paper called Hand Penned, gorgeous hand-drawn flowers. And we're going to use the soft succulent green and the pale papaya peach, and then basic white. We're also going to use the brand new Flowers of Friendship stamp set with the matching punch. And yes, these two are bundled together for 10% off. So that'll be on your first order probably after you see what we're all making with it. We're going to use the soft succulent ink pad. Isn't that color coordination just gorgeous? Look at that. And then the pale papaya ink pad. So this is going to be so fun. All right, and I was inspired to, I got in the stamp room finally this morning and I was like, oh great, now what do I make? So I looked through some cards I recently got, and my teammate Dawn Kloman sent me this beauty made with the In Good Taste papers and the Nature's Beauty stamp set. And it was a variation on that gatefold that I did several videos on a couple months ago. And I thought, oh, that's perfect to show you guys today. So let's make it. Here's my version. And it uses all the products we just talked about. And it's so easy, but look at what a wow it is. How it comes together, how it folds out, and it still all fits in a regular envelope. So let's make this, okay? To begin, we're going to need a little space, which is always at a premium in my stamp room. I don't know about you. And this is 1/4 of a sheet of 8.5 by 11. So it measures 4 1/4 by 5.5. See? So 1/4 there. And that will be our, oh, I grabbed the wrong color, didn't I? Here I used Evening Evergreen, and here I have soft succulent. So let me grab the right color. There we go, Evening Evergreen. That'll be our base. And then you need a piece of 12 inches long paper by 5 1/4. And the reason it's 5 1/4 is so that you get this nice border all the way around, 1/8 inch border. Okay, and you do have to choose which side you want to be your outside and inside. And actually the pattern you like the more of, I would put on the inside so that it's visible when it's open. But it's totally up to you. Okay, so 12 inches by 5 1/4, and all we need to do is score this at 2, 4, gotta extend my arm out here. So let's see, we did 2 and 4, then we need to do 8 and 10. And I love how on the new Stampin' Up! Trimmer, the extender arm locks, so there's no way that you can get it accidentally bent and get some inaccurate measurements. It locks out like that, and it locks in at the bottom too, so it's not loose and floppy. Love that. All right, so those measurements again were 2, 4, 8, and 10. And I'm going to want my pretty flowers on the inside. So I'm going to fold on those score lines. Fold the inner 2 scores towards the center. And those outer 2 scores towards the outside. And that gives us our basic gatefold. And all the many and fun variations on that gate. Horizontal or vertical. Lots of cute ways to do that, right? We know all about those. So here's where it gets a little more fun. We're going to make a diagonal cut on the top corner and then reattach that piece down here. And this serves 2 purposes. It is not just decorative, but it's also reinforcing those corners, which is how you open and close the card. So you need these to be a little more sturdy than just one piece of paper. So that's going to double up that. So put the top score at the top of your card. Put that in the track of your paper trimmer and put the edge, the top corner right out to the edge of your trimmer. I'm going to slice that off, and the reason we were so careful to position it is because we need it to be exact on the other side too. So our score line is in the gutter. There we go, and our point is all the way out to the edge of the trimmer. And that way we know we have 2 identical pieces that we chopped off. Okay, that's all the cutting and scoring, so I'll get rid of that. And close it up again, and then you can see, oops, this one needs to go this way. These are stripy, so I can see exactly which direction they're supposed to go. So then those just get adhered down. And that will reinforce your corner as well as add a really pretty decorative element. So pretty. I bet you already have paper in mind that you can try this with. But grab a sheet of ugly paper first and practice, right? Because sometimes things don't turn out quite the way we intended on the first try. So I've got my 1/4 sheet of cardstock, and I'm going to attach the back only of my pretty folded paper. And again, this piece isn't necessary, but it does add a nice framework, and it strengthens the whole card is stronger for having a cardstock base. So pretty. All right, then I've got an inside piece that is 3 3/4 by 5 inches long, and I chose basic white. Let's do some stamping, huh? So I've got my brand new Pale Papaya ink pad. You may notice a little discoloration on your brand new ink pads. That is just part of the inking process. They get all stirred up in a mixer. It's the coolest thing. And then they get pulled out with tongs and glued into the cases. And sometimes the tongs leave little marks, but it doesn't really have anything to do with the ability of the pad to ink up your stamps. You should always be tapping too, so that distributes the ink equally all over the stamp. Love the sayings in this stamp set. This one says, "Life is better with friends like you." I love this one too. It says, "Little card, big thanks." So cute. Many thanks from all of us, which is a handy sentiment to have. And thank you for everything. So cute stamp set. Would be a good way to get some new spring flowers and jazz up your thank you sentiments. All right, so I stamped my sentiment in Pale Papaya. I love that they included this cool border stamp. So I'm going to stamp that in Soft Succulent. I'm still learning these color names. So fun. And again, those will be available on March 4th when the new catalog starts. You'll be able to order your own of all these new colors from Stampin' Up. All right, so we've got our base piece. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere that. And that gives us a nice blank piece to write on, because obviously this is busy paper and you wouldn't want to write on that. So we need a blank cardstock piece. So let's work on our focal point next. The matting square is 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. And so that is a great measurement. Fans of 8.5 by 11 cardstock will recognize that 2 3/4 is one of those magic measurements that you can get a whole ton out of a sheet of cardstock. So it is going to go on end right in our pretty diamond shape here. We're accenting it with a square. And then the white piece, basic white, is 2.5 by 2.5. So those are pretty easy measurements there too. Let's stamp. Where did I put that? Grab a quick piece for my background here, because the stamp I'm going to use is larger than my piece of cardstock. So I'm protecting my surface. And I grabbed Soft Succulent again, and I'm using the largest flower image to stamp on the diagonal. So cute. All right, I'll put this away before I get it all over myself. All right, and then also protecting your surface, you will want to color with the Stampin' Blends. Always make sure you have paper underneath, because it will bleed. All right, I'm going to start with Soft Succulent on the leaves. And even if I don't do any blending, the Stampin' Blends markers are always my first go-to coloring tool, because they don't leave any streaks or lines. So, but this time we are going to do some blending. So I'm just adding in, accent the leaf down there, adding in some Soft Succulent, and then the new Pale Papaya. And I'm starting with the dark. You can start with dark or light, whichever you prefer. Started with the dark this time, came in with the light. Effortless blending. The thing alcohol markers do is like bleed out into each other, so you get absolute shading with no lines, and it's so pretty. And then I just grabbed a little bit of light Calypso Coral, just because I wanted a little bit darker pinky peach in there too. So pretty. And then I always go over it with a light one more time, and it will just, like I said, just kind of bleed those colors together, and it looks like you painted that. It's so pretty. All right, I could keep going with coloring for a long time, but we've got a card to finish. See there, you can see how it bleeds through, so just be aware. Then I'm going to put that on my Pale Papaya mat. And if I were to adhere this down, we would not be able to get the card open, right? So we're only going to put our dimensional adhesive. Got a brand new sheet to break into today. We're only going to put them on the left side. So left of center. And that will leave the right side free to swing. So we're lining up point to point in the gutter there where the two gates meet. So pretty. Gorgeous. Oh, see, yep, I got a little dimensional. Let's fix that. He's poked out where he shouldn't be. Thankfully, they come off without too much hassle. Put a new one down. There we go. Now he doesn't show. Perfect. Okay, and then you'll notice there's one other thing on my done card, and that's 3 punches. And I can't not make a card without the matching punch, right? So we're going to use pale papaya and some scrap strips of that cardstock. And I'm going to stamp my flower. Now, one tip while I was making this, I realized I had stamped the flower like this, like a cross shape. And you actually need to stamp it like an X shape for it to fit the right way in the punch. So I need 3. And I'm using the smaller flower so it doesn't overpower my focal point over here. And you know the trick about using Stampin' Up! Punches upside down, right? There we go. I'm lining it up. And I've got a perfectly stamped, perfectly centered flower. Love that. Just love it when they have coordinating punches. I'm still a punch gal at heart. I know framelits are fun, and I love to die cut, but I still like good old-fashioned punches. Big and clunky as they are, right? Okay, so I just took those 3 flowers and used a mini glue dot to stick them on this kind of empty panel over here. There we go. Super cute. And I probably would put some, maybe not pearls there, but a nice flat embellishment so that it wouldn't rub against our white. And maybe some pearls over here too. Should have thought of that before I went live, right? So there we go. Thanks, Dawn, for the inspiration today. Love your card. Loved getting it in the mail. And I hope everybody's enjoyed the sneak peek of the new colors. Fun, fun, fun. Polished pink, evening evergreen, soft succulent, pale papaya, and fresh freeze. Yeah, love it. All right, that's it for me for now, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great day.